Good day, good Saturday. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day. If you're watching this, today should be Mother's Day. I'm just recording it in the past for you and showing it to you in my future. But it is your present as a Mother's Day present. Oh my gosh. Don't mind me. Anyway, this is, I forgot to introduce myself. My bad. Let's start again. Hey guys, this is Dia from DiasFrugalLife, and today I would like to talk about change. Change is inevitable, as they say. Whether you like it or not, change is always happening. Some people want things to stay the same every single day, every single week, every single month, year after year. That's impossible. That's impossible. Yes, some people try. Some people want their routine. Even some go as far as extreme OCD, time schedules and everything. And change is out of our control. It is what it is. And I get distracted. I'm looking at my glasses. I've got the sunshade. Look, I've got my sunshade there, but yet there's still light beaming here. I know, I get sidetracked. Anyway, just like that, change is inevitable. The sun will be there, and then we'll set back there. It just is what it is. Even as we think, okay, the sun rises, the sun sets, but not at the exact same time every single day. There's variation to it. Yeah, no, I can't do all that. Anyway, yeah, change is inevitable. And changing your mind is one of those things that, with the knowledge that you have at the moment, with what you have learned that you did not know previously, you change your mind, you change your opinions, you change your quality of life, you change what you can change. When you know better, you do better. Typically. Not always, not every single time, but the majority of the time, you sure do. I was watching some videos talk about all this AI, and back in the day, all these, like, not so much the internet, not so much upgrades to machinery and different things like that, but the AI, that's going to control everything, that's going to take over the humans, the yada yada yada, and that's horrible. Well, nothing is 100% horrible, nothing is 100% good, so we just have to take things with a grain of salt. And earlier today, I was listening to a video where they were talking about some chain company, a big grocery store, that is making their way more towards self-checkout, but on your phone, like scan and go type of deal. So there might not be any registers now. It's going to go towards that. The self-checkouts with the actual registers, they have been closing a lot of those down. They have been making it to where some of the apps, the gigs, people, the workers, the gig apps, they have the priority in some of those so they can scan their stuff and go a lot faster versus waiting in line with the rest of us that want to do self-checkout, or just because there's hardly any cashiers, so you just go to self-checkout. Whatever the reason is, they're starting to fade those away. It just gets me thinking where they try to push these things so hard, and then it turns out, hey, it didn't work as we planned. So now let's go to plan B, C, D, or whatever they're on. And then I think, okay, once that change comes, they're going to realize, oh no, there's a more efficient way we can do it, or that didn't work like we planned, so let's try this. And the cycle continues. Change is inevitable, guys. Change is going to happen. Either you adapt or you get left behind. And that's with just about anything. Not even as much with AI, but AI seems to be the future. So either we deal with it or we don't. We learn it or we don't. And then we struggle. So, I don't know. That is just something that if you don't adapt well to change, you have the hardest time. So, what can you do about it? I don't know. What can you do about it? You guys have any ideas? Type them down below. Help me out. Help us out. Some things that they try to push really, really hard and not ease your way in, people have a lot of resistance to. And then there's things that they gradually put in the mix, that kind of like the thing where they talk about the frog in boiling water, will jump right out. But if you put a frog in water that is just room temperature and you gradually, slowly, little increments at a time, heat the water up till it boils, the frog won't even know that it's cooking, and it dies. So once again, change is a coming. It's how are you going to adapt? What are you going to do about it? What can stay a constant or constant enough in your life? And what will you have to adapt? What will you have to overcome? Because I think 99.9% of the things that we know as of today will possibly, probably, more than likely, almost all of it is going to just change. It's going to adapt to something else. So, as a more preparedness mindset, if you don't want to lose a lot of the old ways, you better get to learning the old ways. You better get to memorizing some of these old ways. You better get to acquiring, purchasing, making copies of books or articles or different things like that to keep logged yourself. For example, I don't know, recipes, remedies, health remedies, holistic things, how to grow stuff, how to do things on your own, because all that will possibly go away. It's already fading out. But at the same time, guys, you're like, well, I don't have to worry about that because I can just go here and Google something and the recipe will pop up, a video will pop up. And yes, it sure does. But you can't count on that either, because even the electric system that they have is not 100% either. I've also been hearing a lot about power outages, not just here in the US, but worldwide. Other countries are having issues with a lot more power outages as well. So you're going to have to really think hard and long. And with power outages, I just think to myself, especially after this previous winter I just went through, I needed enough power with my battery system to be able to at least keep my electric blanket going for a duration of 8, 10, 12 hours. If I could get more, then I would get more and bundle up. So I at least need that much power, plus the little bits of other things that I need to power during the day. And then during winter, there's not as much sun, so you're going to need more power supply, more battery, more solar panels, etc., etc. You need to beef up your backups, your preparedness. And this is not a fear-mongering thing. This is just, while it's good now, when times are good, when times are decent, is the time to acquire, to prepare, to learn, to practice. And then I also get to thinking about summertime. For me personally, I don't deal well with extreme heat and humidity. I want to build my way up to having enough battery power, enough solar panels, enough of a solar system to where I can have an AC going, a window AC going for at least half of the day, at least 12 hours. And I will crank it on once I can't take the heat anymore of the day, and then let that go through a lot of the night. And of course it'll be the more digital one, so once it reaches a certain temperature, it shuts off. So energy efficient, all that, you know, as much as I can do, I will do. But along with that, that takes a lot of power, that takes a lot of battery. But along with that, I want to be able to have lights going, have a fridge going, my freezer going. And I think a good alternative would be my 12-volt fridge / freezers. I need to have enough power to power that, along with being able to cook. So I don't live in the middle of a forest. I don't have an abundance of wood that I can just go chop up and have a fireplace, a chimney, cook with that, heat with that, survive with that. So to me, the next best thing, when I have no power, no grid tied power, because that even happens during winter, where bad weather happens along with summer, along with year-round. Things happen, fires happen, thunderstorms happen where the lightning will destroy, burn up, what are they, transformers or whatever the posts are with the electrical system. Something always happens, guys, and you need a backup. You need a way to at least sustain a minimum amount of things that you need to sustain your home, to sustain your life. So that is my plan. I plan on building something minimum enough to where I can at least have one window AC unit because that also cuts down on the humidity. Otherwise, when it's extremely hot and humid for me, I feel like passing out. It's too much for me, for my body. So I need that plus some refrigeration to be able to charge my phone and still make videos for you guys at the very least. I need to keep my income going, no matter how little it is. This is like, YouTube doesn't make me very much, but it at least pays a bill, sometimes two, every month. I'll either pay my phone bill, or I'll have some extra gas money, or be able to treat myself to something that is a little bit of fun money, or I use it for paying my internet, whatever it happens to be, depending on the amount I make. So yeah, guys, I need to at least have this going, because when I cannot go out and work, you know, the traditional way, and I have to hunker down, I have to hunker, I need to at least keep this going, to be able to at least pay my cell phone, my Wi-Fi, and hopefully make a little bit extra for whatever other necessity I have. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have thought about that. If you don't have AC and you live in an extremely hot and humid area, have you thought about what you're gonna do? What about a really cold winter if you have no electricity, and you sure as heck can't afford to be purchasing all that firewood, because that's expensive, unless you're gonna go all over the place and find little chunks of wood to kind of sustain you. Do you even have enough space to put a little not a fireplace, maybe a fireplace, a little potbelly stove or something to kind of keep it going? I mean, have you guys ever even thought about all that? Because a lot of times when times are good, we take it for granted. We sure do. And I had a huge reality check last winter when I had to pretty much survive with very minimal electricity, aka my big Blue Eddy battery, and I had to make that work. And every chance I could sparingly use it, I would use it. Every chance I could save some of my battery, I would save it. I wouldn't just be blowing my battery just like that, because it's a lot harder to charge it back up with solar in wintertime where there's not a lot of sun. Yeah, it was a huge reality check. And I know people have survived for centuries without this modern technology, but they also lived a bit different. They didn't have the sticks and bricks that we're accustomed to now. They had more natural, more sustainable materials for building homes. I don't know, guys. It's just a lot that I think about. Maybe you guys have thought about it. Maybe you guys are thinking about it now. I don't know. Have you guys ever wondered that kind of stuff? It can't just be me. It can't just be me thinking of all this stuff. But yeah, more and more I hear of power outages and floods and horrible weather, which I think that's happened throughout the times, guys. But now we hear about it more because technology, we can hear about this at an instant. So we're more aware of it. But I have definitely heard more about power outages. So if you're able to save up and purchase some batteries and build you a minimal system to at least sustain you for a few days, and then build it up to a few weeks, then build that up eventually to a few months, and and indefinitely. Just keep it going, keep it going. Just like when you go grocery shopping, an extra can of corn, an extra can of this, an extra bottle of that. It's the same thing. You just acquire something one thing at a time. What do they say? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. All right, guys, that's what's in my head today. So thanks for listening, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye, guys.